everyone, and welcome to the Book of Ramblings. Today, I am joined by my two good friends, Ugo.
Hello.
And Philip.
Hey.
Today, we will be discussing, or starting a discussion, rather, about education, specifically higher education, right?
Yeah.
That's what was on the call sheet.
How you're not educated.
Was that a you are not educated or we are not educated?
You. Dun, dun, dun. This is how I'm starting. I'm
leave.
spitting fire. First episode.
I guess that's kind of relative, if you are or aren't.
Let's not do this.
Let's not get into that. It's too early. It's too early.
Early into the episode.
Yeah, it's too early into the episode.
Nevertheless, probably we should say that the three of us have followed higher education, so we're not talking out of our ass. For podcast listeners, both of them just shrugged. That was good. That was good. But yeah, no, higher education, some people like it, some people don't. I have my opinions on it. Anything you guys would like to preface?
Yeah, I guess just, it's a very complex
We're all still
topic.
studying.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
we're all still studying.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, you went back.
Yeah, I went back to studying for some reason.
You kind of never stopped. You just
Yeah.
took very long to finish one stage, and then you started working.
I stopped. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna stop. And
Yeah,
I started working, and then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't stop. And then I didn't stop.
For some reason, I thought you took like a year. Like you went to work, you took a year, then you went back.
I didn't take a year.
No,
it wasn't a year.
I was still missing one class.
Oh, that's
He
right.
was still
finishing
his
Yeah.
There was a yep.
I'm a very good student,
degree,
guys.
so
I'm currently on my thesis right now.
I'm a very good student. I don't know if you noticed. I took 6 years to finish a 3-year course. So I'm a very, very exemplar.
well,
Honestly, that's one of my biggest things, right? A lot of people think that, oh, it's a 3-year course. If I take a little bit longer, it somehow represents that I'm a failure in some shape.
I
I took an additional year in both my degree and my master's, and honestly, I really needed it.
I'm taking 2 extra years. In my life. So, yeah, my thesis. Well, I can't say this word.
Thesis.
Yeah, my
The.
forget it. You understand what I mean? He's taking.
Sorry. Your dissertation.
Yeah, that's much better. My dissertation is taking a lot.
Man, this man is fluent. Look at him go.
It's taking much longer than it should. So
It's fine.
But it's something that I learned, right? You take the time you need to take, and the important thing is that you learn, you grow as a person, and as a professional even, and then you just whack off. That's the point.
Is it the point of higher
The
education?
true course is the friends you make along.
Yeah, that's kind of But I think we're touching on an important part of what is education. Like you just mentioned what the objectives of education were.
Yeah. I was kind of joking.
Yeah, but you were mentioning some that could be, and Ugo mentioned another one.
Honestly, I was
Some
joking.
people go.
I was joking, but
networking is a thing.
networking. Yeah, networking is one of the most important things that happened during university for me, at least.
So we're talking about very
I
different.
despise
objectives.
everybody in my course. Sorry. That's not true. I'm exaggerating.
Okay, that's a nice thing to say online.
And now that's on the internet.
Yeah, that's a nice.
What you gonna do? Cancel me?
So what I was trying to say is that education can be seen as having multiple purposes, and I guess that's one of the things that makes it so complex, and why some people might like higher education or don't, depending on what purposes they see in it.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, there's always the kind of people that go to higher education and then don't finish anything.
Yeah,
they just go to the parties.
Yeah, they just go to the parties.
I met a lot of people like that, actually.
But they saw a purpose in higher education, just a very completely different one.
Let me just pay my tuition and just go to parties.
It's kind of a sort of not networking.
It's just you're
not trying to use it for professional or...
I mean, a lot of people that go into student bodies and stuff like that, they sort of just use that to build up a resume to eventually go into politics.
For example,
So
so
it
that's
works like
a
that.
different point. But in that of parties, we're talking about, for many people, like the first glimpse of freedom
Adulthood, yeah.
without
Freedom,
the parents.
adulthood, yeah.
So, there's gonna be some excesses,
Yeah.
and
Some.
I'm,
Some.
so
We are talking about drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
especially in the first
No
years,
one said drugs.
in the first year especially, or the first semester, everything is new,
Yeah.
especially for someone who's going away from their... I didn't.
Yeah.
I slept at home.
Well, it was comfy.
Yeah, tucked in my own bed, but
Why do other people... don't.
Okay, let's move on.
so I was just saying it's a lot of new stuff. So I guess the purposes of higher education are very complex and very individual. So I guess that what I'm trying to say is that what everyone takes out of higher education is very different. And I guess that's one of the problems or difficulties in higher education is when you're creating a course, because the course needs to have its own objectives,
Right.
The institution needs to create its own criteria when it creates a course. What do I want this course to do?
Yeah.
And if different people go into it looking for different things, it's always going to be a difficult
Everybody's gonna have a
negotiation.
different experience. Yeah.
And everyone does the course with a different perspective, right? The course is a tool for you. It's not right.
It's not
Some people, for example, I'm working now and I'm still studying, and I see university but it's a different scope. I do it because I like it, not because I want to get a job after. I am working in the area that I'm studying, so I'm like, yeah. If I fail, I failed. Like,
And even within the course, some people approach the course itself and university in a different way. So some people actually aim for higher grades. Some people don't really care; they just want to get rid of the course, get it done.
Yeah.
And some people are just trying to do it at their own pace. Some people have a timeline. So it's a different experience for everybody. Everybody has a different objective.
And different, pressures or context.
Yes.
Like the deadline.
Yes.
If you depend on like a government help for taking the course, you need to follow the
scholarship.
You need and if you you don't have financial means to take the degree.
Yeah.
The help requires that you don't fail any year. You can't fail.
Yeah.
So that's a huge pressure on your back.
Yeah. It's also sort of we have a topic there which is formal versus informal education.
Yes.
So it's the one of the benefits of formal education, which is what we are covering, is that it has deadlines. You cannot take. So you have to learn what you're supposed to learn within a time frame, and then if you don't, you try again. You can just no, I took
you fail
9 months instead of 6. Like that doesn't work. And that's both good and bad. We can discuss that actually.
Yeah.
I think it's good in the sense that it teaches you the meaning of a deadline,
which I have come to learn is actually very useful.
Yes.
Sometimes the deadline actually helps you.
Motivates you.
Yeah, it motivates you.
Makes you do things.
Because especially in a creative field, because I found that if I don't have a timeline, I just kind of just let it go. And I'll get to it. Yeah. It doesn't work. It doesn't really help. Our arts department is nodding. Is agreeing with me.
No, it's just the deadline just gives you like a focus. You know? If I need to deliver this in a month, maybe I should get to it.
And then the ADHD kicks in oh crap, I have to deliver this by tomorrow. I haven't done it. And I do it in 24 hours instead of 2 months.
That's more, I have done many stuff like fueled by anxiety. It's not good.
Yeah,
you feel
it's
awful.
Not pleasant. It's a motivator, right?
But you feel awful after it, like real bad. Real bad. Oh, I always feel awful doing stuff fueled by anxiety.
Yeah, your body goes into overdrive. You're just overclocking yourself.
At the end, I feel so bad.
I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I even enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
guilty.
you're a masochist.
Yeah, sure.
I'm guilty. I'm guilty of actually like letting things almost get into the deadline
So you can
just
get that
so I
kick.
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that like some sort of
Just so I can
adrenaline
feel the
kick?
adrenaline. Yeah.
Oh
Like of-
boy!
Sure.
Alright. I didn't know that about you.
I do it only for procrastination purposes.
I am very disciplined now, but yeah.
No, I don't like it at all.
And honestly, deadlines kind of lost meaning for me because of that discipline. Because I really do things in an orderly manner now.
Yeah. Was that more like a high school Ugo version?
No, it was a university.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
For
degree.
Sure. For
In
sure.
the start of the first year.
Yeah, like I was like, no, I won't do this now. I'll
I got
just
the whole
I'll go to a
semester.
party. Yeah, I have the whole semester. I'll go to a party. I'll have the adrenaline kick there, and then I'll have the adrenaline kick later because I need to do this, and that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
That
That doesn't work for me
but I
at
know,
all.
But I know I'm a.
No, I do it a lot, but I just don't like the experience. I feel awful after it.
You don't feel completely good while you're doing it, but the sense of accomplishment when you do
It's
it
not-
at like a record time, it's like, damn.
Oh, okay, for me, that sense isn't there.
I sang, and I did something that's not supposed to happen, and I got away with it. It's
Okay.
like, yeah,
Oh, okay, I never had that feeling. It's more like a...
it's dumb.
It's more like a...
I'm not
Relief.
completely proud of it. Like,
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, going back to the topic, that's a huge advantage of formal education is the structure.
yeah,
And it's not only in the deadlines, but you have classes.
Yes.
And they tell you, show up like these days and we'll help you understand what is going on.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest plus of formal education, right? You have someone that's
that touches on something that I found really interesting. I found a lot of business people say that sometimes the degree itself isn't actually useful. What the degree shows you on a CV is that you, for 3 to 4 years, you've shown up at a given time for a given amount of hours, which shows to the employer that I can show up in time and I'm able to work in this environment with other people.
just commitment. I think the biggest thing about completing a course, it's commitment. You committed to 3 years doing something or more, and you've done it. Like it's good.
it's something in itself.
Yeah, it's good to have someone employed that can
show up
and do something and commit to something. Like you commit to your work, and then you actually do it instead of.
Yeah, I understand what you guys mean.
Yeah,
I understand what you mean. I feel that enters into a more complex thing about what higher education does in relation to a job or industry, the relation.
Right. And it's a philosophy too. I'm not entirely sure if that's 100% applicable to every type of course.
Oh, it isn't.
Field.
You know,
Right.
like you don't want a doctor that just because he finished, you know.
Yeah, you're a doctor legally.
You know, like the course means something.
Yeah.
So, and when they say it, it's just because, you know, like in most stuff, if you finish a course in any area and then you go get a job, probably that job is hyper-specific because that's how most companies work now. So you didn't learn that hyper-specific thing. You learned some more general form of it, and now you need to learn it on the job, the more specific part.
That's very interesting, actually.
But that's how education needs to be, right?
I found that a lot of my colleagues, my classmates, have found themselves to be very frustrated with the course at some times, because they had this idea that we would be learning a specific type of thing, and then this isn't what I was expecting. I'm learning things that I wasn't expecting to learn, that I thought that I was going to need in this field. And it's interesting that people don't really understand what higher education sometimes is, which is just, here's a toolbox. You're not going to need every part of it, but you should understand what some parts is, and then you're going to learn the capacity to learn for yourself and adapt to a specific environment.
So you have like 30-ish classes in your degree? I used to. Like that's
in our job,
my job, I use 2 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I use things that are learning, but and it's not just that. The university teaches you to learn and so the other skills that are transversal to all the classes, that like, I think those are really important. You learn how to study, how to learn new stuff, on time.
You learn how to study.
Yeah,
you are pushed to learn, because if you don't
Yes.
learn, you will fail. But nobody teaches you how to study or how to learn.
But you need to find a mechanism that works for you, basically.
Yeah.
You need to find your own tools to make it work, and that's really important on the job because.
You gotta adapt.
Yeah, some people just don't.
Yeah.
It's they don't do stuff. They're not proactive in their work environment.
But
and that's something I feel like university teaches you. It's that you really need to be proactive and to study by yourself, to do things because you need to do things and not because anyone's pushing you, because university teachers don't care. If you fail, you fail. No one.
Some care that you are learning.
Yeah.
So far, right. They care that you learn, but if you're actually trying. Because if you're not trying, they're just going to put you at the side of the plate. But if you're showing interest, they're like, okay, let's sit down, let's talk about this. You didn't get this part? I'll repeat it, that's fine. So
generally.
Yeah, but they don't care if you get a 0
they don't care
or a 15.
In the sense, they don't care in the sense that they barely know you.
Yeah,
you're another face.
Yeah, the teachers that care will be like, I'm sorry about that, try again, and next day will be a different day. They don't just move on.
The next minute will be different.
Yeah, that's true.
The moment you leave college, they forgot your face. The moment you left their classroom, they forgot. I
mean, if you show back
specific,
up.
but very specific, but like,
Yeah.
but after a while, it's like. It's different, man. You're not in a class of 30. You're in a class of like 100 sometimes. Yeah. And
to my opinion, even in high school and lower, 30 people, it's still a lot for one teacher, I think.
It's not just 30 people because he doesn't have just one
Yeah,
class.
there's more classes.
He has sometimes there's one teacher per subject, so you have like the whole school having like one teacher for something specific.
Yeah, but
that's not really.
That's a bigger problem in high school, because in high school and lower, it's expected that the teacher takes a bit of more personal
approach.
Which doesn't happen, unfortunately.
They try.
No, they try, but it's very tough for a 90-minute class, sometimes 45-minute class, for one teacher to have a personal approach to 30 kids.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It's like
that sounded so wrong, man.
Yeah, but
in your head, I did.
But like it's very complicated. So when you reach college, they don't. No, they don't. They're not even. Some will.
Yeah.
Some will try.
Yeah. No.
Some will try. And speaking for myself, in my psychology degree, all of them tried.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
All of them tried. Like, some were better teachers than others, but all of them tried.
Didn't you have like a neuroscience? That was a bit of a...
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't a teacher, right? He was a doctor.
Yeah. He was teaching, but he was a doctor. And yes,
the
only
really
one
care
that
from what I
wasn't a
remember.
psychologist.
We're gaslighting people now.
No, but he wasn't... Yeah, he wasn't... But I didn't care as much. Yeah, I didn't care as much because I had biology in the high school, so I kind of could learn that by myself.
Yeah,
that
I mean, you can always learn. By yourself.
But if you never had,
it's also something. Sorry, university makes you like very prolific in the language of the field.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing they teach you, honestly.
So you can talk with people from the field. You can learn things related to the field. But
and sometimes it's very, very satisfying, right? Because
even if you don't,
you spend like 3 years in a course learning a very specific type of language, and then you go home and somehow use a little verbiage of that language, and people just look at you and like, what are you talking about?
That's
and then you talk to your peers, and it's like, some people understand.
Jean be flexing.
No, I'm not flexing. I'm just used to it.
Yeah, it depends. That specific language, sometimes it's very helpful.
Yeah.
Many times it's
helpful with people within the field.
But many times it's just another barrier.
It's a bridge to your peers because it's like a code. You both understand what that word means and you can just jump it.
If you start talking psychologist, I won't understand anything.
Psychology tries to have a bit of a more...
Yeah, but you go like, hey, so Freud said this, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't know what Freud said. Like,
I understand what you mean.
That's the theory of I don't know who, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I understand. I understand what you mean.
We can both start talking physics, and he's gonna look at us.
yeah, you could do the same. But what I was gonna say is that you're never fully in.
Yeah,
you can tell me.
Right. Yeah.
Another psychologist can go in here and tell me a theory, and I go, oh, I never heard that theory.
There's levels of mastery, of course.
But you can get there by.
He can get me
there. To you a lot faster than he would with me.
I understand what you mean.
I can understand. I can explain to João like a programming language much faster than I would to you.
Yeah,
because he's familiar with the concept of a programming language in general.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to learn C, you don't. But if you wanted to,
I understand what you mean. It's kind of what we're talking about. It many times just gives you a base or like a group.
University makes you based, right? That's the title right there. I was looking for it.
It gives you a group of core concepts,
right?
That you can from there much easily understand the other more complex concepts in your area.
Point, yeah.
I think that's I think what we're talking about. One of the more complicated things on higher education right now is what should the course give you?
Yeah.
What? Yes.
And not on a personal level, like we were talking in the beginning, more like the institutional level. Yeah. What should the institution look for when creating a course?
We have a topic there. Which is soft skills, by the way. So it's nice that you're referring that. So
yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, I was touching on that because before we're talking about like what does the industry want, what the companies want, and then what do the students want because they're paying.
Yeah.
No,
that's fair.
We're laughing, but when the education is not fully paid by the state, the student
is the client.
Are the clients, so they will have a say.
Yeah,
they should.
I think they should.
They should.
Even in a fully paid system fully paid by the state, the students should always be heard.
Yeah.
But then, how much do you hear to any of them? The faculty, obviously, they need to have a say because they're the ones going to be teaching that.
Yeah. Who has the bigger say? The students, the faculty,
the industry.
To balance. So.
In the end, the faculty will always have the final one. So
it should be a more democratical system. But unfortunately, what tends to happen is that student bodies don't really do what they should.
It depends.
In my experience,
my experience with public university, very good actually, very good.
Mine was.
Very good, actually.
I don't mean the school. I mean, certain aspects of it.
The connection or the communication between the students.
That was a big problem. And a few years ago, we had a bit of let's call it a wacky.
Jesus.
No, it was bad. It was
wacky.
You're welcome. But yeah, we talked a lot about some of the pluses. So. Probably in the next episode, we should discuss the minuses.
The minuses
of higher education.
Yeah. Okay. Advantages, some things to work on.
Maybe. Sure. But let's finish up the topic on soft skills. Actually, because that's something I really want to.
Touch.
So, do you think, Philip? Do you think it's important that university, for example, presentations? That's something I do in my workplace.
Same.
Not presentations like to big audience, but for my team, like we talk a lot about what we've done and stuff like that. So, do you think universities should teach that kind of how to? Because I notice not everyone can expose their ideas in a coherent manner.
I feel like the three of us got a bit lucky because in high school we kind of got 4 of us. Sorry, yeah, that's right. You were in a different course, man.
But we have presentation.
Yeah, no, our
George-
high school did make us do a lot of
Yeah,
presentations.
George was in the same high school as us, but she was in a different
It was
course.
it
And
was in arts.
yeah, and he was saying that he
Okay,
had
look at him go.
we all had
A lot of
presentations.
presentations,
Yeah. So, but at the same time, there was never because with soft skills, the thing is that they are creating and developing these classes, like specific classes, in which you learn methods to do presentations, for example.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Not
yeah.
just hey, do a presentation
Yeah.
for your physics class. No,
Not just putting you on the spot.
yeah,
and
not just and expecting you
to
figure it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
that's
they
true.
a
actually
little bit of
teach you
orientation
methods as
should come about.
like,
I think.
how to talk in a coherent manner, rhetorics, stuff like that. Like how to
A
speak.
little bit of
actually.
rhetoric, I think, would help.
A lot of people
And
gaslight.
one of the things because I tutor a lot.
Yeah.
And one of the things I say to my students is that there's a reason why we have philosophy in our high school courses.
Yeah.
It isn't really used very well, but there's a reason it's there. It's to help you formulate your answers better.
Thoughts.
Your
In
thoughts,
general, not just
how to
answers.
present an idea, right? If you're trying to take 2 or 3 ideas, bring them together, and come to a conclusion, philosophy helps you with that, and rhetoric is good for that too.
Philosophy is a perfect example of a class that you're not supposed to learn the class itself. Like that's not there for that. You're supposed to.
Yeah, a little bit of a history of philosophy
But-
helps as
and
well for
it's
context.
knowledge, but so
Yeah,
it's nice.
It's very
but
interesting.
It's
I
very
like
interesting. But it's. I don't feel like that's the purpose of philosophy generally. For most people, philosophy is there to teach you like how to formulate thoughts, not
Yeah.
the philosophy itself. Like
How to formulate, to present them, how to
Yes.
because it's good for yourself, and it's good to to put it in an exam, to put it in a
Yeah.
presentation, and just to talk to people.
the,
Really.
the transversal skills that you learn from
Yeah.
philosophy are really important, not philosophy itself.
And it's
Philosophy
worth
itself is
talking
also
about.
important.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I understand what you mean, what you guys are talking about. And you need to understand it, you're talking about rhetoric, is very important, not mainly for you, but people are constantly using it.
Yeah.
So you need to understand when they're trying to bully you.
Yes, that's true.
Because people win arguments a lot of times.
And you use it within yourself. Because if if I convince you with a fallacy, then you also convince yourself with a fallacy.
Yes, understanding what a fallacy is and being able to identify it
you
is
fell for
very
it.
important.
Right? You fell for it. And you didn't fall for it because I said it. You fell for it because you yourself
Believe it's true. Yeah.
You started. You understand what I mean? It's
I understand
like you
what
can
you mean.
fall
But
for it alone. That's what I mean. Like
I understand
You
what
can
you mean.
unknowingly fall into a fallacy and not understand it.
Yeah.
It's
I
complicated.
understand
It's
what you mean, but
problematic
you could
sometimes.
never fall into it alone because you would not be able to create it.
it depends. No, you can formulate like when
I
you're
understand what you
exploring and
mean.
thinking.
I understand what you mean. Oh, you create a fallacy.
You
and-
create-
When you
when you
create
create-
an ideal that you want to follow for some reason, if
understand.
that ideal is
Okay.
built on a fallacy, that could be problematic.
I understand what you mean. You didn't hear the fallacy. You were
generated
just
its
trying
formulated
to
thoughts,
one,
and you ended up-
connecting them.
Connecting them in a weird way because
You made the okay. I understand what you mean.
that
but-
happened. Like
yeah.
I didn't say it because it happened to me.
yeah,
But,
we all did it. Everyone does it.
so
It's part of the human experience.
But we're talking about
human condition.
the soft skills I think are important. But should the university teach them? It's a very interesting question.
It is.
My
Yes.
question would be: should the university teach them just in general? Meaning, should they just have those courses? Not be included in the course itself.
Optional classes is a good middle ground, right?
It could be obligatory, but they're not part of
the curriculum.
They're not part of the how do you say it? The department. There's something everyone.
it's
Or maybe they could be optional. Some people
depends.
might not
It
want
depends.
to take
Look,
them.
I'm a developer. I probably won't be presenting to millions of people,
Yeah,
but
I
I will
understand.
need to talk to my team
Yeah,
a lot of times.
A lot of times, yeah.
So maybe some tools in that regard.
But what I mean by optional is that some people might actually have already learned that or be good at it and feel like I could be spending my time better in something else that I'm worse at, right? Give the people a little bit of an option.
Yeah,
So-
but you'll have that in college multiple times.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
know,
yeah,
it might already be very good at like.
That's a good advice. Pick your battles, people. Pick your battles.
Yeah, but you might reach the first year and you might already be very good at, I don't know, math, and whatever math course you take that year, it's so easy to you.
Yeah.
But you can
No
choose. Yeah. I'm giving a
The story
Yeah, it's
of
an
no
example.
one.
Yeah.
I'm giving an example. So, but you can choose not to take them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
You know, you can just
I'll do it next year.
You can just say, "Trust me, bro." You know. And soft skills, it's much broader. It's an unbelievably broad thing, you know, because what you learn mostly in college is hard skills, and that's a lot. Because if you join all the knowledge and techniques in the world, that's hard. All the hard skills you could learn, that's a lot. Soft skills, it's the same, but for social interactions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any kind of skill that would be useful in that, and broader, you know. But any kind of skill that you use in social interactions is a soft skill.
Man, people don't even know how to make a curriculum.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but I wouldn't say that that's a soft skill.
Yes.
Isn't that hard? That's a technical, you know, you're kind of doing...
It's.
I feel
You could
like-
also
Also-
look at it as a kind
makes-
of presentation,
Yeah.
right?
guess.
It makes it
I guess.
unfair. Like, I feel, for example, like I'm the mean to brag, but my curriculum is like very pretty and it's very.
I've seen your curriculum. It's really good.
It's like so, and I feel like instantly
You have an unfair advantage.
I have an unfair. I'm not better than anyone because of my
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
indicative.
someone
it's,
can have a much better curriculum
It's
that's
just
just
it's not really
blocks of text.
indicative. It's not indicative of actual quality as a
Honestly,
as a
I think
worker.
I could be tagged as a worse developer because I spent time doing the curriculum and not learning how to be a developer. So
Kind of depends where you send your CV.
Right?
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but then again, we're going back to the conversation of what should the
What the
college
yeah.
should prioritize, because that's an objective you have when thinking about getting a job.
yeah,
But the university might be trying to train you as a scientist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what
Because
I mean.
that's,
That's why
the-
optional classes would be great.
The source of yeah. Sorry, I was just meaning. I thought that's the origin of academia. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes,
It's
yes.
Science.
yeah.
Science. So, but yeah, I understand what you
But
mean.
it makes
making
sense.
it more in
So
blocks
that way,
that you can
each
build.
department can focus on the curriculum of each course, and then the university itself can choose, to give certain ideas to help everybody. And you're not forced to choose that course by your curriculum. You just, oh, look at that. That sounds useful. And you just take part in it.
But then you would have to take time away from. You would have to
I mean, yeah.
take a time slot
yeah.
of that curriculum and try convincing any department to take one. Oh, that's gonna be a hard battle.
No, it could be extra curriculum things.
Okay,
Right.
I understand. Then you're gonna have to probably pay for it outside.
No, really, you have like
It
at least my
depends.
university offered like even languages. You could learn new languages.
Yeah, but you have
In-
always to pay something like
In mine,
one
you
or
did.
2 years.
In mine, you did because it was provided by the student body.
It was
okay.
like people from the language department were like,
okay.
hey, we'll teach you
Well,
Chinese. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't want it, but thank you.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
But a
Thanks
lot
for
of
the
people
offer.
took it actually. Like,
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity.
yeah, it's nice.
People like to learn, man.
And so informatics department taught like Linux and coding languages. Like that was a thing. So
Okay.
I just feel like there needs to be like a push from the university because no one does it. No one does anything
Oh,
about
no.
soft skills.
Man,
At least
yeah.
in both of the universities that I was, soft skills is like zero.
Yeah, because how do I say this? Because no one actually cares. That's the way I mean it.
That's how we're gonna end this episode.
Yeah, no, what I was gonna say is that
No one actually cares.
what I meant is that
Get good.
is that while it is valued and everyone says it's more and more important, at the end of the day, at the end of the day,
And there was some initiatives, but like they were thought by people that weren't. They didn't really know what they were doing. That's
the
my
problem is
point.
that when you rank them, you still put hard skills above.
Of course.
Yeah.
And when a faculty does that, they just say, "Oh, okay."
There's a book called Show Your Work, by the way. I don't know what's the author now. Thank you, George. He's looking for the author. But there's a book called Show Your Work, and the essence of I just read it diagonally. I never actually read it from one end to the other. But the soft skills, what they do is that they allow you to show your work. You can have the best hard skills in the world, and Austin Kleon. Kleon? Is that how it's read? I think Kleon. Okay, thank you, George. So,
arigato gozaimasu.
What a weeb.
I said it in German first. What the?
So how long have we been going for?
It's like
about 40 minutes.
Yeah, about 40 minutes. I think it's actually a nice place to end it. I think.
Yeah.
And any final remarks?
Calling me a weeb? Yeah, that works.
It's
Any final remarks?
Yes. So since we're talking about soft skills and seemingly no faculty actually wants to teach them, consider soft skills. Try to learn some because they're actually very useful and they not just for your career but for you as a person.
Yes. Learn soft skills, guys, so you can make your own podcast. Please don't. It's more
competition.
It's competition.
Do whatever you want. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's
wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Let's roll the credits. That's no credits.
yeah.
You can support the show by subscribing to our YouTube channel or listen to us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you want more, you can follow us on Instagram at RambleBoxOfficial, that's RambleBoxOfficial, or you can check for more content in theramblebox.com, that's theramblebox.com. Links are in the description. That's the end of the show, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.